I never thought I'd say this, but after years with Wacom, I might finally make the switch to another brand. For context, I've been using Wacom for over a decade, and I always thought nothing could replace my loyal Cintiq. But then I got my hands on this new HUION pen display, and wow, this thing is good. So today I'm gonna make a review of the Kamvas 16 Gen 3, the new pen display from HUION. They did send this to me for free, but rest assured my review will be 100% honest. So let's start with the basics. I'm not gonna talk much about all the common specifications you can already find on HUION's website, such as the exact measurements, color range and stuff, because that just takes too much precious time. And I know you ain't stupid, you can find all that info just by reading it yourself. Inside of the box you'll find the usual things. The display, which feels solid built, it doesn't seem like it's gonna break apart at first sight. Its stand, which looks pretty sturdy, although I prefer one where you can also adjust the height, not just the angle. But it's good to know you don't have to draw flat on the table with this device. The pen holder with a bunch of extra tips, cables, globe, user's guide, and all that stuff they already mentioned on the website. The setup process was just a tad bit troublesome, but I suspect that was just because my computer is old already and it doesn't get along with modern things. It took me a few attempts to get the 2.5K resolution to show up properly on the display, but besides that, I don't have any complaints. Just plugged everything and downloaded the drivers from HUION's website and it was good to go. But enough about that. Let's talk about what you really want to know. What's it like to draw on this thing? Is it actually good? Boy, let me tell you, I'm completely blown away by this display. The initial activation force of 2 grams feels amazing. The pen is super sensitive and you can start drawing a line effortlessly. The default pressure levels did feel a bit too hard for my taste, so I tweaked and tested them for a bit. I was trying to get it to feel as close as possible to my old Cintiq. And for a while I was getting desperate because I couldn't find the perfect settings, but then I saw this option on the drivers called Advanced Setup, and everything changed. I moved the slider a bit to the right and now the pressure and IAF feel much more like the Cintiq. They have also reduced the pen's head. You might remember that the last time I reviewed a HUION product, I loved the pen's performance, but the wide head of it annoyed me because I couldn't see the tip and that made it harder for me to get precise strokes. With this new PenTech 4.0, I've got no complaints in that sense anymore. I've only tested this display on Clip Studio, but so far it works great. After that initial tweaking, the pen pressure works exactly as I need. The transition between heavier and lighter strokes is super smooth, and there seems to be no weird jitter going on. This pen also has tilt recognition, which nowadays is a must for me, because I've grown used to tilting the pen to get different kinds of strokes with some of the brushes I use. I do miss having an eraser on the back, but I've set up the eraser on the 3rd button of the pen, and now I'm trying to get used to it. If I don't in the future, at least I know I could get the Pro version of this pen, which does come with an eraser on the back. And from what it says on the website, it should be compatible with the Kamvas 16 Gen 3. Now, a good pen is one thing, but what about the screen? Because this is where HUION absolutely nailed it in my opinion. There's absolutely no parallax, not even around the edges. The pen tip matches the screen perfectly. I didn't even need to calibrate it to start drawing. It felt completely natural in that sense. The full lamination they used to make the screen is amazing. Like, sometimes it feels like the screen is actually a piece of paper I'm drawing on rather than glass, because the image is right there. I see no separation between the actual pixels and the surface I'm drawing on. Plus, the glass has a little bit of texture that gives a more natural and traditional-like feeling when you slide your pencil over it. Oh, and now that I'm talking about the glass quality, HUION claims the glass has an anti-glare and anti-sparkle finish, and yeah, it's totally true. I haven't seen a more matte surface ever. Even with the screen protectors I used on my Cintiq, which were supposed to be anti-glare too, I'd always get some annoying reflections from the light in my room. But this tablet, there's absolutely nothing like that. It feels so good to be able to draw on this and not having to stretch my neck or tilt my head sometimes so that I can see the whole piece without reflections, which is also great for you as a viewer, because now you don't see myself reflected on the screen on these kind of videos. You can peacefully enjoy the drawing I'm making. I don't have anything to check if the color accuracy is as good as HUION says it's supposed to be, but I can tell you that the colors seem very well calibrated by default. I didn't feel the need to adjust the brightness nor color temperature. It's a vibrant device where all the colors look beautiful, not dull at all, and the 2.5K resolution makes every line look super crisp. I also love the size of this pen display. I think 16 inches is the sweet spot for me. It's not huge, so if I need to put it away to make space on my desk, I don't need to have gym bro biceps to move with. And it's not too small either, so it doesn't feel restricting or limited. But I think what makes these tablets dimensions so good is how they paired them up with the 2.5K resolution. It really gives me the illusion that I have so much more space than I had on the 13 inches Cintiq, when in reality the physical difference are just those 3 inches. It's not a big difference in that sense, but the higher resolution makes it feel much more spacious. Feels like drawing on a premium device but without the premium price tag. So who should actually buy these? Beginners? Absolutely. For all the quality you get, I think HUION made an effort to make it affordable. It feels natural to use. And if you're not a complete technology noob, it's pretty easy to set up. If you've never dealt with these things, connecting it might be a bit of an adventure, but I'd still recommend it as a drawing device. Would this suit professionals too? 100%. I do professional work and I'm using this tablet daily now. I don't see myself going back to the Cintiq unless this one suddenly dies one day. Would this work for people who travel a lot? Well, I wouldn't consider it portable per se. Even though it is light and easy to carry, you still need to connect it to another device such as a computer or laptop to work with it. So you need to carry a laptop with yourself and plug the HUION to it every time you want it to draw. The 3-in-1 and the single USB-C cable do make the connection easier, but for me it's still not that ideal. A portable device would be an iPad, a smartphone, or any device that you just can take out of your bag and start drawing with it right away, rather than connecting it somewhere or making sure you have a wall socket nearby so your laptop won't die on you while you draw. So if you want this to draw on the sofa, then on the desk, then on your bed, then on a coffee shop, I probably wouldn't recommend it. But if you want a light device that you might need to transport every once in a while, then yeah, this HUION would be a great choice. For me, the HUION Kamvas 16 Gen 3 is a real WACOM competitor. It offers everything I need from a pen display: a sensitive and responsive pen that won't force my arm muscles, ample space thanks to the high resolution, and no annoying reflections on the screen. I didn't even know I needed to get rid of those reflections to work more comfortably. This has been an eye-opening experience for me. And truth be told, it's much cheaper than a Cintiq with similar specifications. For example, the Cintiq 16 and its Pro version are currently selling for around $800 and $1,500 respectively. The pen on both models only has 8192 levels of pressure sensitivity, which, don't get me wrong, that number is amazing already. You don't need more than 2000 levels to draw comfortably. But if you can get more for less money, why wouldn't you take them? And yeah, the Cintiq Pro does have an even higher resolution of 4K, as well as touch feature among other fancy stuff, but in my opinion, they're just not enough to convince me of spending $1,500 on a drawing device when I could just spend a quarter of it to get an in-between point that's more than enough to draw comfortably and professionally. Bottom line, this HUION display didn't just meet my expectations, it shattered them. And for the first time ever, I'm saying goodbye to WACOM, at least until further notice. You'll be forever in my heart, Cintiq son, but now it's time to rest. If you know an artist who's stuck with an old tablet and is looking for an upgrade, send them this video. Maybe this could help them find the right tablet for their needs. And if it's you who's thinking about upgrading your drawing setup, this is one to check out. You'll find all the links in the description. And now, where my HUION gang at? Tell me in the comments which tablet brand do you like the most. Keep on drawing, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye!